Boring Breakdowns, welcome to Volume 2 of the boring look at Janet Todd versus Stamp Fairtex, the rematch. So in Volume 2, we're going to be discussing some of Janet's upper body tactics, specifically some of her boxing that helped her get the W. Let's go ahead and jump in. First, let's start with Janet's use of the left hook. Here we see Janet standing right in front of Stamp. Let's see how she uses the left hook to get an angle. Stamp initiates with that left hook, and then Janet uses the check hook. So let's watch one more time. Really important, when someone is getting aggressive and moving forward, there's no need to stay in front of them and get into a slugfest. Janet decides to take the smart route and angle off. So it's essential to think of this as a bull and a matador. Bull charges forward with offense, matador just circles out of the way. From here, Stamp is going to initiate with that left hook. Janet uses her right glove to catch. We already see that Stamp wants her right hand. So before Stamp can get that right hand off, as Janet defends, she's going to counter with that left hook. In addition to countering, so Janet doesn't get clipped with the follow-up right hand, let's look at what she does with her rear leg. She's going to lean back and pull that rear leg out in a pivot out motion so she is not in front of the forward-moving bull, Stamp Fairtex. Let's watch. Counter, check hook, and get out of there. Here we're going to watch an offensive use of Janet's left hook. So broken down, we're going to see Janet step in to throw the jab. Stamp attempts to peel that jab hand of Janet's down and counter with a right hand. However, Janet's right hand gets in first. And why is this? This whole combination from Janet, the 1-2-3, is not firing at a standard jab, cross, hook pace. It's instead jab, cross, hook. And because of that faster rhythm, Janet's right hand was very close behind her jab. And that quicker rhythm touches Stamp before she can get this counter right hand off. When she's finally able to get this counter right hand, it's a bit wide, potentially because she got thrown off from the hits right here. And now this part is very important. In addition to this faster rhythm, the left hook is going to touch Stamp, but even more importantly, it's going to end Janet in a stance that is back to her orthodox fighting stance. When you're back in a standard stance, as opposed to ending on that right hand where you're twisted and Janet's gut would have been twisted this way, when you end and you're back into your orthodox stance, you're more easily able to defend punches or kicks that come in. This is in contrast to the first fight where Janet had the tendency to simply end on her right hand. When you end a combination on the right hand, you're ending in a twisted position because your gut is twisted in this direction. From there, it's much more difficult to defend. Let's watch this one more time. On a half-beat rhythm, and then back to the stance, Stamp has to kick while she's being pushed backwards. Great work offensively using that left hook and punching off rhythm in a faster rhythm from Janet. Next, let's discuss Janet's use of occupation punches. So at the highest levels, a lot of strikes don't necessarily have intent to do damage, but they're used to set up other strikes. Let's watch an example of this. Slowed down, this is Janet throwing the jab, and then she simply shows the right hand. Now, what is the importance of the right hand? Even if the right hand isn't necessarily with intent to go smash through Stamp's high guard, what happens is it buys time for Janet to get that head kick up. Notice the right hand is staying up in front of Stamp's face, and only when the head kick is about to land does Janet pull that right hand back, at which point Stamp is met with the head kick. So on a larger commitment, which is the head kick, the right hand occupying Stamp's guard is going to buy time for that leg to come all the way up and make contact. Let's watch one more time. Jab occupied with the right hand, and follow with the head kick. Let's watch another example, this time with a left occupation punch. Slowed down, we're going to see Janet throw the jab. Notice what this does to Stamp. It forces Stamp to bring that right glove out to parry. Now, as she does this, notice all of this open space. Janet is just going to sneak that left kick underneath the open space to land to the body of Stamp. Let's watch one more time. Jab, Stamp pulls that glove out, and the left kick comes in. Let's watch another example of left-handed occupation punch, this time setting up the head kick. When we slow this down, let's look at Stamp's reaction and how this reaction allows Janet to sneak that left foot or left shin around the back of Stamp's guard. From here, Janet is going to throw the jab. Now, not only does this pull Stamp's rear glove out to defend the jab, it also buys time while Janet is able to switch her feet. Now, notice how far Stamp's rear glove is. From here, Stamp has to pull that rear glove back to catch the head kick. However, Janet is able to wrap just around the back of that rear glove to score. Let's watch one more time. Occupy, left head kick. Next, let's talk about Janet's use of the body shot. Now, it's important to note the body shot came a little bit later on in the fight, after Janet had used a good bit of boxing, off-rhythm boxing, a lot of that left hook, a lot of the head kicks. We will get into a bit more of Janet's kicking strategy in the next video, so stay tuned. But just please keep that in the back of your minds. There was a good bit of preconditioning for Stamp before Janet started launching the body shots. Let's go ahead and look at this example of the body shot. When we break this down, we see Janet loading towards her left, completely normal on a body shot because you want to get toward that left side, your left side, to launch on Stamp's right side of the gut. Now, what's important to note, let's look at Janet's right glove. The right glove extends, and we see that Stamp expected a right straight because she pulls that high guard out to potentially meet that right glove. The right glove was just a throwaway, a feint. And from here, it's also important to note the check of Stamp. Because there were so many high kicks, Stamp defaults to a high guard and a check position. Now, this stance right here leaves her pretty ripe for that left side body shot, which Janet launches right here. So let's watch it one more time all the way through. Show the right hand and left side body shot. Next, let's discuss a really slick detail Janet uses to land this body shot. Now, before we slow this down, it's important to note that when you're fighting, it is easy to keep track of the lead side of the opponent. Why? Because the lead side is closer to you, and that is the side that can more easily reach out and touch you. Now, the rear side is a little bit tougher to register. Let's look at how Janet uses her feet to play off of this principle. Keep in mind, Janet's rear foot is a little bit tougher for Stamp to register because it's further away and a little bit more tucked behind right here. So from this range, Janet is going to initiate the body shot by stepping the rear foot up. Now, even though she's still, for all intents and purposes, at the same range, now that her feet are close together, when she steps in with that lead foot to land the body shot, she can get all the way into the range that she needs. Now, from here, Stamp is going to instinctively retreat, pull back, and extend her guard out. This is a very traditional Thai, like long guard right here. And that rear glove is very high, which opens up the low line for the body shot from Janet. This is great work using the feet to launch that body shot all the way from outside. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content. We will be coming out with the third volume of this match analysis where we discuss Janet's kicking strategies. But in the meantime, if you have not already, we have the first match analysis, which discusses her footwork and her use of negatives on the YouTube channel, Boring Breakdowns on YouTube. We also have a sparring study of Wonderboy Thompson, as well as a match analysis of Wilder Fury 2. We'll be coming out with a lot more content on the YouTube channel, so please stay tuned. If you guys are on Instagram, hit up Boring Breakdowns. On Instagram, we come out with one mini study each day. Lastly, if you guys are looking for custom breakdowns, hit up controlkickboxing.com/boring-breakdowns. We hook you up with custom breakdowns if you have a fight coming up and you're looking for ways that you can tighten up your game, or if you guys are coaches and have students or fighters who are going to be fighting soon and are looking for different insight on their game. Go ahead and hit this up and you can order. Guys, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. And until next time, Boring Breakdowns. Peace.